first. The US election has been thrown into chaos after Donald Trump was shot in an attempted assassination at a rally in Pennsylvania.
Had Donald Trump not turned his head at the last moment, we'd be sitting here talking about his death. But for a few millimetres, the world would be a very different place tonight.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Now, the assassin was shot dead at the scene. He was later identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks.
Trump survived the assassination attempt, but the attack raises at least four key questions that now need to be asked. First and not least of which, is there a leak in the Secret Service? Danica, there's a couple of really interesting things about the events of earlier today. Firstly, how was a sniper able to position himself on a rooftop with clear line of sight just over 100 metres from Donald Trump? Second, how was it that people in the crowd spotted the sniper before anyone from the Secret Service did? And third, how was it that while police tried to find this suspicious individual, who numerous people had pointed out, Trump was allowed to stand on stage and continue speaking? The moment that there was suspicion that something was afoot, Trump should immediately have been removed from the stage. I want to show you an interview that was broadcast earlier with a witness who alerted security services to the fact there was a man on a roof with a gun.
We noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us. He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
James, this is unbelievable. I mean, this witness clearly speaks very well. He was able to clearly articulate exactly what he had seen. So to give him the benefit of the doubt, you've got to go, well, what on earth happened here? I think this was a complete abject failure by the Secret Service. You do have to now ask, was there in fact a leak? What went wrong here? Because the gravity of the failures cannot be underestimated. In fact, I would say this is catastrophic because if you have a look at this photo of just how close the bullet came to Donald Trump's face. I think we've got that photo hopefully coming up for you soon. But, I mean, it came really, literally within millimetres. Here it is now. Look at that. You can see it there in a straight line. One wrong turn, one turn of the face to another way, we would be having a very different conversation tonight. And I was listening to our Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen speak earlier in the day, and she said that this is normally such a tightly controlled area. In fact, she explained that the media, for example, need to put their camera equipment 8 hours in advance to the security services so they can do a proper sweep. So you go, if they're doing these sorts of proper checks, how on earth was this allowed to happen? It's really, really catastrophic, and something here, James, just does not add up. In fact, more questions would be asked after having a look at this vision here of the actual Secret Service snipers on top of the roof. Have a look.
And that's a little bit old, that shot's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
If you watch that video closely, the sniper got off 5 shots before he was eventually taken out by the Secret Service, which is quite amazing. The New York Post are reporting that law enforcement officials are asking how on earth was the guy able to get off 1 shot, let alone 5, before he was taken out. And again, that video shows that the Secret Service had the gunman in their sights, but waited until he'd fired before they eliminated him. I should point out that Donald Trump, in a statement after the attack, thanked the Secret Service for protecting him, as well he would. But there are certainly questions to be asked, and now there's talk of a congressional hearing to find out exactly what went wrong that Trump was was able to be shot at from such a close range. As I said, with clear... the Secret Service should have had someone on the roof where the sniper was.
Yeah, but the point is, and a lot of other previous people who've worked for the agency, they've come out and said that the Secret Service would always normally do a sweep of the roofs in and around an area where a rally or an important event would be taking place. So you have to ask, did this individual manage to conceal themselves, conceal a weapon, and then therefore the Secret Service were not alerted to it? I mean, these are all really fundamental questions, but you'd hope that they have answers soon, because there's a long way to go between now and November.
And as I said, most astonishing, how is it that members of the general public were able to point and say there's a gunman on a roof with a rifle before Secret Service or local police were alerted or saw it themselves?
Absolutely. And look, here's the second question that needs to be asked. Donald Trump must surely now be an unbackable favourite, you'd say, to win the November election. But will he live that long? Because seriously, James, his safety is compromised, as we've seen today. Now, my answer to that question would be yes, because now the security around him would be absolutely bolstered. And we know that Donald Trump is not one to hide. He's going to go out there. He's going to say, I'm carrying on because I'm doing the work of the American people. The Republican convention is due to start this week, where Donald Trump would be formally announced as the candidate to take them to the next to the election here in November. Mark my words, he's going to be there, and that is going to be a significant moment in history. But he will have to be protected to the max. But you have to ask these questions now, because there would be complete lunatics out there going, oh, well, this bloke here managed to get within a sniff of trying to assassinate a former president. Well, you know what? I'm going to go and now finish the job at hand. But have a look at this image. I think this is the most iconic image. Donald Trump fist pumping with blood streaming down his face. That now is the shot of the year, because that is quintessential Donald Trump. Like him or loathe him, that is him in a nutshell, and that is the moment that he knows that he has won this election, and he's going to keep going because he knows that he's got his supporter base rallying around him, and more people now, I believe, will come on board with him.
Yeah, no doubt.